Everyone, what's going on? It's Big One Gaming here. Welcome back to episode number 3 of our Zero Overall franchise rebuild. We've got a lot of upgrades now compared to the last couple of videos here. Omar Gonzalez is going to be really close to starting next year. Same thing with Dotson. They're both super close. We also have Bill Petter in the top 10 for the top 100 prospects. Omar Gonzalez is ranked 12th, and Dotson's actually ranked 15th, so they may even be here in the next upcoming season. Again, we won 47 games, which is actually kind of surprising. We actually did have a decent season. Our pitching coach started to retire. We have actually, that's fine because these guys we had to sign to fill out the rosters anyways. Tuki Toussaint, we are going to give him an offer here. We did sign him in the Rule 5. We'll give him a 5-year deal. And same thing with Zach Littell. Actually, I don't think he doesn't need to be re-signed. So we can let him walk. But I do want to sign Toussaint. And we did. So we are good there. So we can let him walk. We'll go ahead and offer our arbitrations, of course, along with our contracts. So I will be back in just a second once we find out who we can sign. And here in free agency, we're going to go ahead and try to sign Montero, the first baseman. We don't have a good first baseman yet, and this guy does have really good power against lefties, up to 99 in his power versus left. He's going to be our first baseman. We need one anyways. Apparently the Royals trying to keep Killerloff here, but of course, we can't go after Casas or Torkelson just yet until we, make the playoffs and eventually the World Series for the 95-plus overall. So Gunnar Henderson and Shane Bieber are off the table anyways, and a lot of the better people are anyways off the table. See, did we sign him immediately? It looks like we did. We did already get him. Wow, that was fast. All right, so the Rule 5 draft, and of course the draft lottery section here. See if we can't get lucky again to get a top 5 pick. Again, we are ranked, or we should have the best odds for number 1 with us going 47, 115. Again, a way better season compared to the last couple seasons, only winning like 10 or so games. But can we make the, somehow sneak into the playoffs? We do get the first pick, so we're solid there. Again, just kind of simulating, make sure we don't have we have a 40-man spot open. Which we do. Do we go ahead and take the catcher here? I mean, here's the thing. There's an A potential catcher of Barry Luther. He's only 24. I honestly think, he's a 62 overall. He would kind of be our only catcher on the board. We're going to take him. We're going to take Barry Luther. He's a little bit low. He's 93 potential. So he does have, an option. He's going to stay up here too, especially with no catchers ready to go just yet. It's going to be nice to have him. It's going to be nice to have him on the roster. Cole Peck and then Jeff Haynes can stay down in the minor leagues and try to get better. Casey Mize apparently going to the Braves. And let's take a look at the lineups and everything. Make sure everyone is where they're supposed to be. Brennan Davis is actually not playing. So we have a full roster now. I kind of want Brennan Davis over there instead of at left field instead of Zamora. So starting lineup looking Warren Lopez, Brennan Davis, Acuna, Montero, Guerrero, Vivara, Canario, Luther, and Duarte. Of course, Rule 5 pick of Barry Luther. He's not going to be great probably the first year. You never know. He could bust out and go off his first season, and he'd be really good. In Double-A, we do have Dave France, but he's a 66. I really don't want him out there too much. Mascara, James Rose, Jeff Haynes as well is in there, Satchel Gomes, and Eldridge Hansen there for Double-A. And in Triple-A, we have David Cortez, Marshall Thorne, Bill Petter, Luis Villa, Cole Peck, and Ernesto Valdez, and Sammy Hernandez. I think we're missing a couple people, but I'll go ahead and add these guys in here soon. Major Leagues, of course, we have a couple people. Luis De Avila, Bernie Willard, Kyle Nelson, Ivan, TJ Antone, and Tuki Toussaint in the bullpen, along with Pedro at 87 overall, Dune, Smoke, Luis, and then Dotson is going to start up in the major leagues for us, at least to start the season. All right, here in the 2029 draft, of course, we do have the first overall pick again, if y'all saw the main part. But we're going to go ahead and draft another starting pitcher of Gabriel Rosario. He's a 22-year-old starting pitcher. He's 68% already interested coming here. He is 22, but already, I mean, if we actually scout him correctly, he is a guaranteed A potential, which is going to be very, very solid. He's got the jacket on, too, which is kind of nice. So we get him. Very, very solid. I think it was, left-right there. So, and then Lenny Ellison goes. He was the other starting pitcher we were kind of taking a look at. We went with the other guy, though. He was ranked second on our board. We got him at number 1. And then J.R. Bliss, another starting pitcher. So 3 straight starting pitchers here. And just kind of taking a look around, having scatter-wise, we're looking at Steven Martin in late, probably either in the first or the second round here. We also have Elvis Vasquez. He is going to be pretty much almost an A potential, but who knows if he's going to be there. We do have a couple of first base, second base guys that we could also take a look at as well. A couple of shortstops late in the drafts as well, especially Dan Courtney at 57. So far, a lot of starting pitchers have gone. And there goes Elvis Vasquez. He does go 6 to the Pirates, and it looks like our first baseman that we were kind of taking a look at is gone. Where did he go? Or was he a third baseman? I mean, he might have been a third baseman. And Steven Martin went to the Royals, so he was ranked 5th. I wasn't going to go for him right away at number 1, but Royals do get a good player. We need to look at him as well. But I am going to go ahead and take the first baseman of Rob Lara, 19. He's ranked 32nd on our board, so we'll gladly take him. And then, of course, we have another one at pick number 40 here. I don't think we have too much really scatter-wise. I mean, it's mostly relievers, which don't necessarily need a lot of relievers. We could use them down for just, depth pieces, but we'll go ahead and take Alexi Sanchez. I mean, might as well. We're not going to use him too much. Here at 77, we're going to pick up our first third baseman of Phil Woodson. 18, maybe he's going to be good. You never know. We scout him all the way, though. Again, a lot more starting pitchers-wise that we could scout this year instead of a couple years ago when we didn't scout any pitchers. We're going to take another third baseman here at 107. We're going to reach a little bit. But Andres Rosardo, 18, could have a decent potential. Hopefully looking around that B range somewhere, hopefully. Just trying to, find some diamonds in the rough here, especially at 137. We're going to go ahead and draft another third baseman of Eloy Gabriel. We don't have really any third baseman right now on this team. And then the final one, we're going to go Boyce Pate. And yeah, that's the draft there. So hopefully it's going to be a decent one. Hopefully we hit on a lot of people. Again, early one for scouting or for signing-wise. We'll go ahead and get our guys that are a lot interested already. Try to sign them. So we sign Rosario. We sign Lara. We do not sign Woodson, which is very surprising. He was 75%, which is kind of weird. Maybe we can sign Gabriel. No. Okay, that's fine. Rosado we don't sign. Okay, you know what? We're good. It's fine. Everything is fine. We still got a bunch of days left. We already signed most of our guys as well. Now we get a little more interest with these guys, especially 78% should sign, and we do. 57% we sign him as well. 64% we sign him as well. So bang, that's legit. Now the last two. This guy's a shortstop. He's already at 61%. Can't sign him immediately. We don't know fully what they are, but we might just let it go for a little bit. Try to see what they are. Also, if you guys don't notice, we actually have 38 wins on the season, so we're already on pace to match last year's as well. He's at 63%. We don't get to sign Sanchez, but can we sign Pate? We do not. Okay, we're just kind of, testing the waters. And this will be another signing here. 68%. We're going to move him up to 70%. We get him. And then lastly but not least, he's 95%, and that should be pretty easy, and we get him as well, and there's no more that we have to sign. We also are going to make our trade. So I'll be right back once we figure out who we want to trade. Actually trade away Vivara here. He was a Rule 5 draft pick a couple years ago, back in 2025. Played with us a bunch. He really had a really great season last year and is improving as well, up to his 268 average this season and 310 on base. Has the same amount of home runs that he did last year, a little bit less on the RBIs, and he's played in a lot less games. So we want to go ahead and trade him away. We're going to get Randall Clark, a potential center fielder from the Blue Jays, as well as a second baseman as well, who's a B potential. They are a little bit lower overalls, but they're going to be projects, which is fine with me. We're not looking to contend just yet, but we're going to go ahead and grab 2 more great players just for 1. So we'll gladly take it. That means we can go ahead and call up 3. All right, so taking a look at the draft and where we kind of ended up with, Rosario was a 95 potential. I said guaranteed he is going to be guaranteed to be a 90-plus potential with how we scouted him. He was a 95, so our scoutings were correct. 5-pitch mix, 86 stamina, 44 hits per 9 is not too bad. He's 72 overall, so he honestly could start in a couple years. Rob Lara, 59 overall is not too bad. He actually has a great bat for being a 59 overall. Not much power, but he could be up here in a couple years if we give him some playing time down in the minors. Alexi Sanchez, we didn't really scout too much, but he's a 94 overall, 69 potential closing pitcher, so that's going to be good for at least the bullpen-wise in a couple years. Phil Woodson, 73 overall, 77 potential at third base. We do need a third baseman, so if we really need to, we can call him up now. While Rosardo gets playing time down in the minor leagues. He's a 48 overall, same age as Woodson. Woodson's the lot better prospect, or I guess Rosardo's the better prospect, but Woodson's better to play now. Same thing with Gabriel. I mean, we just kind of were taking shots in the dark at this point. And then Boyce Pate, 87 potential, 48 overall. A lot of younger guys in this draft class for us, but we give the chances out there and try to hopefully one sticks to the wall. So far, looking at this draft class, it wasn't really the greatest. We did get a 91 Roger Webb. We weren't really looking at first base. J.R. Bliss was a 91 potential for the Dodgers. The Orioles got an 89. We did miss out on Jacob Callaway. 99 potential starting pitchers. Only a 3-pitch mix, but he's 21 and he's a 64 overall. So he's not, but still another 99 potential in this draft class, which is insane to say. 2 more 90 overalls as well for the Tigers here, both starting pitchers. The Royals got one with Howie. I'm not even trying to pronounce that last name, but Steven Martin. We actually are glad we didn't pick up him. He's a high B potential, but I like our pick better. Ibarra was a 94 closer potential, so not too shabby there. But yeah, we probably win the draft, honestly. 4 high 80, mid 90 potential guys and a low 80 and high 70 rating. So I'll take that all day. Again, we are looking very, very solid. Villegas is down the minor leagues, and he's an 80 overall. We have a lot of great players right now in this. Let's take a look at the top prospects. Randall Clark is the number 1 prospect right now. So that Vivara trade, we get Randall Clark, who is the number 1 prospect, which is insane to me that we get the number 1 overall prospect now in that trade. Sammy Hernandez still at 11. Petter actually went down to 13. There's Reggie Winters, who I think we were looking at a couple years ago, but we did not end up getting him. Omar Gonzalez, Leo Gonzalez, so 2 Gonzalez this year. He's 56 overall. It's not too shabby. Again, we'll look at everyone kind of when they are, when it's done. Cole Peck is a 66. And he has a really good bat, so he might come up next year. But anywho, we're 40 and 70, which isn't too bad, to be honest. And we could honestly win a couple more games. I'm going to simulate to the end of the season. I'll see everyone when we get there. All right, so here we are at the end of the season. We went 58 and 104. So again, we're making very, very good progress. on this season. For the last couple of seasons, we have made very, very good progress. We actually didn't even have the worst record. That went to the Giants in the National League. They went 57-105. So, hey, progress. We weren't the worst team in the, MLB last year. So, and we still have a shot at the number 1 overall pick again. But again, taking a look at awards, just kind of going through this. Apparently another Texas pitcher gets, Cy Young Award. Again, I don't know what they're doing in Texas, but they've gotten the last 5 Cy Young Award winners. So I don't know. We're just kind of here with the flow. Apparently the simulation loves Texas, so there is that. But also, they do have to face Oakland a couple times, so that probably makes sense. But here we are. Taking a look at all the rosters here and how everyone did. I'm going to go into pitching rotation first. Pedro up to a 91 overall. He went 11-10. His first time he went a positive. His ERA jumped a little bit from last year with a little bit less innings, but a little bit more earned runs, same amount of home runs, a little more walks than last year, less strikeouts, less on the whip. He did have 21 quality starts, but zero complete games when he had 5 last year. So not. He did go up, though, which is still +3s and +5. He's 26, has already 5 years of MLB service. So, he started when he was 21. Looking good. Fletcher Doom went 9-18. Not the greatest season from him, but he did improve in a couple spots where he needed to improve on. 9-18, same as last year. Less innings, more hits given up, more runs given up, less home runs. He did have 1 complete game shutout, so that's nice. Did have a positive WAR. That's what we're looking for. With a 5 ERA, though, it's not the greatest. Vinny Smoke, in his second season, went 3-19. So one more win, I guess. Less innings again, but, it's fine. 5 quality starts, though. Luis went 8-16. He is had a lot more wins this year because we actually had a lot more wins in total. But less innings from last year. Less home runs given up, so there's that. But same amount of pretty much ERA. He did have a positive WAR. So, and then Anderson Dotson, who's up to an 83 overall, +8 to his hits per 9, +6 to his Ks and home runs per 9. Very, very solid season from him. 3.6 ERA as a 5 starter. He went 9-9 in his rookie season. 79 runs, 23 home runs, 1 complete game. He had a 2.8 WAR, so it's pretty solid. Bullpen wise, Villegas was down here late in the year. He only participated in 16 games, but got 3 wins. So there is that. Met also came in only 8 games, pitched 20 innings, had the loss, but 2.61 ERA. And I think that's it. Ivan, 66 games, 1 save, 27 holds. A 1.6 ERA is actually not too shabby. He's up to an 80. TJ Antone did go down to a 72, and Tuki Tucson's down to a 73. We might want to think about getting rid of these two. We can make multiple people trades, so we might want to think about getting rid of those guys. In the lineups, Warren Lopez played all 162 games. Went a little bit lower with average. More strikeouts, 1 more home run than last year, but had less hits, less runs, which is unfortunate because I need him to get on base. Brendan Davis went up to a 235, went up to a 73. Really good with his contact versus left this year. Acuna, +10 to his for his power versus left, and +7 to his contact versus left. So, pretty solid season from him. I like it. 253 average, 322 on base, had a 700+ slugging, 19 home runs, 65 RBIs. Nothing really else to write home about. Montero kind of did a lot better than, or not a lot better than last year. He played in Colorado last year, so that kind of helps his. But he had more home runs with his this year. A little bit lower on the RBIs. At 243, 700 OPS, had a 300 on base percentage, so that's not too bad. Henry Guerrero went up to an 83. Pretty solid with his bat against lefty. Only played in 146 games. Had 28 home runs, so equal amount of home runs than last year. Less RBIs, though. And a lesser average and a lesser on base. Zamora, we're not going to care about him. He had a 227 average. Canario, pretty decent. 70. He's now a 73 overall. Barry Luther in his rookie season, the Rule 5 draft pick, went 207 on the season. +5s, a couple +3s. He did go down to his contact versus left, which is all right. We're not going to worry about too much about him as well. He's not the final plan at catcher. And then Victor Duarte up to a 77, so not too shabby from everyone, at least in the lineup. Taking a look at where everyone is now, Omar Gonzalez up to an 81, so he's going to start for us next season as well. He actually does have the homebody quirk, which is kind of weird that some people have quirks and some people don't. Even Pedro didn't even have any. He's a 91, but he's only 20, is up to an 81 overall. Vinny McDonald's up to a 78. We already showed Smoke and Dune. Mackenzie Yang's up to a 75. So we actually have a decent amount of starting pitching. So we'll take it. Relievers, don't really care about those. Cole Peck is now up in the major leagues, but he's got a really nice bat, so he might start for us next season at 68 overall. Jeff Haynes up to a 67, plus 3s and plus 2s across the board, which looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. Maybe Barry Luther can be our defensive replacement for Cole Peck, even though they're about the same defensive-wise, but we're not going to talk about it. Hunter Adams is up to a 59 overall, plus 3s and plus 4s. We'd like to see that. Mascara up to a 57, and Joe Bautista up to a 51. So Hunter Adams might be our plan at first here in a couple seasons once Montero goes away. Ricky Nair, who we got in the trade, is up to a 56. Decent to his contact versus lefties. And Eldridge Hansen, plus 6 to his contact. So pretty decent there for him, up to a 63 overall. Bill Petter, 73 overall. Has a really good contact against righties. Not much power, but good contact both sides of the plate, or both sides of the pitching-wise, and decent fielding. So decent start for him as well. Marshall Thorne is up to a 68 overall. He's down to a B potential, though, which does kind of suck. And then James Rose up to a 65 potential, or up to a 65 overall, not 65 potential. That'd be terrible. Same thing with Randall Clark, is up to a 61 overall. And then Sammy Hernandez, who's also part, of the top prospects, actually did go down his contact versus right, but still went up over an overall to a 60. And then Ryan Aguilar up to a 59 overall. Did not increase any with his contact, but did increase his power. So not too bad. So hopefully we can get some guys getting to the mid-70s, maybe low 80s when we can. But that is hopefully going to be the plan down the road. Again, Grows up to an 83. He actually did go down a couple places, but went up majorly in his power and contact versus lefties. So, looking good there. Ernesto Valdez up to a 65, plus 7 to his contact versus left. And Leo Gonzalez is up to a 58 with plus 9 in both contact areas. So, really solid season for development-wise from him. That's what we need. He's 98 durability, so he's going to play every day. So, we're looking very, very solid. We drafted a bunch of third basemen now. Their next pretty much spot that we really need to more depth-wise is left field. Maybe some shortstops, and that's pretty much it, and some catchers. Obviously, we have all like the random catchers, but they're not going to stay with us. Relievers-wise, I think we're going to be good. We may draft a couple more starters just to turn into relievers down the road, because why not? Every failed starter is a really good reliever, So, yeah, that's going to be the plan. Let's go ahead and get into the offseason. Who wins the World Series? We got the Astros over the Reds in the 2029 World Series. We had no one retire for us this year, so Garrett Cole and Goldschmidt both go into the Hall of Fame. We have no exclusive free agents, so we'll go ahead and just fast forward. We already had a trade as well. And I will go ahead and get the arbitrations and the contracts down. I'll meet you all in free agency. Free agency, we're going to go ahead and sign was Jose Soriano. We're going to go ahead and give him a 3-year deal worth $3.2 million. Just kind of overpay him. People only giving him $2.5 million. We're giving him $3.5 million over that. Also, Trevor Rogers is getting traded. Yuri Perez just signed. We got the draft lottery. Again, we do not have the worst record, so we could be drafting anywhere from like 6-2 here, maybe even 1. Who knows? We're drafting second. Man, the Padres went up plus 10 when they went 82 and 80. But they go up plus 10. We are drafting second. So, right where we're supposed to be. Vaughn, of course, we do have the Rule 5. What do we got going on here? We could pick up Morgan Pittman. or we go best available, especially with the reliever. I mean, he is 32, but he is 74 overall. It would help us out in the bullpen even more, especially if we're going to get rid of Toussaint and Antone. Because we do need relievers. Or we could just say F it and grab, Morgan Pittman, who's a 66 overall left fielder. We don't have a left fielder right now. We have a couple center fielders playing left. We really don't need a right fielder. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take Matt Cronin, 74 overall. He's decent hits per 9 too, so we're going to take him. Helps us out in the reliever market. And yeah, so we got a couple people drafted more, and we should be okay enough to. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna be grabbing from ours. I don't think they can be one of the randoms down to single A. Cool. All right. So that is that. Again, lineups is gonna pretty much look the same. Zamora, Peck, Guerrero, Montero, Acuna, Canario, Duarte, and Davis in the majors. And the pitching rotation, I need to add in Dune here. We have Pedro, Anderson, or Dotson, Gonzalez, Villegas, and Dune. Let's take a look at the top prospects before we start the season as well. Randall Clark's now the 4th ranked prospect. He was number 1 a couple years ago, or last year, but he dropped down to 4. Gabriel Rosario is ranked 8th, and Alexis Sanchez is ranked 9th. So that was actually a pretty good pickup for us last season, too. All right, 2030 draft, here we go. We kind of only looked at 3 positions of really need. Looked at a lot of left fielders, starting pitchers, and catchers. So this guy's, of course, injured, and he was ranked 9th. I am sad. Well, it looks like we're drafting Chris Blake. And he opted out, so hopefully he's not injured. That's not fun. How a lot of the guys I was looking at are now injured or opted out. So that's fantastic. The Giants here at number 1, of course, they were the worst team in the majors last year instead of us. So, hey, Purcell, he was ranked 3rd. We had him at 99. He was not great. We're going to go with our left fielder of Chris Blake, who is hopefully going to be very, very solid. He was ranked 3rd on our board, or 2nd on our board. And then here at number 3, I forgot who was 3rd. The Tigers get Todd Bowman. We weren't looking at first baseman. Should we have? Who knows? I'm surprised we haven't gotten promotion incentives yet, but it is what it is. They pick up Gage French, who was the number 1 guy on the board, but he was not great. We are going to go ahead and draft this starting pitcher, Jason here. He was ranked 48th. We pick him up a little early. Looks like our catcher did get taken. Was it Culver that we were looking at? It was Culver. So we'll have to take a look at him, see if he was hurt or anything like that. Which, I mean, he was injured, so we'll have to see how he is. Other than that wise, we were just scared of the injury that we didn't want to risk of. We're going to go ahead and pick up this left fielder of Tyrone Trevino. He's ranked 64th. We're at 71 here in the 2nd round. Not too shabby. Here in the 3rd round at pick 79, we're going to go ahead and pick up a starting pitcher. Try to take a risk on Castro. Maybe he's good. Same thing with this starting pitcher as well with Steiner. He's non-ranked on them, but he was 89th on our board. We're also going to pick up this left fielder as well here at 139 in the 5th round. He did opt out, so hopefully he's not injured, but he was pretty much fully scouted. Not fully scouted, but decently enough. We're also going to, nope, that guy's injured as well. Why is all the catchers injured? We'll take the one catcher at P.J. Holt. We needed one anyways. This season has kind of been rough for us. We only have 32 wins. It has not been. We had a really struggling month of April. It was not good. Not good at all. We'll get all of our guys that want to sign instantly. He was 88% and didn't sign. Why does no one want to sign? There we go. We get one guy. This guy's 55%. We're up to 64. He signs. So I can't get 49%, but we can get that going. The White Sox are interested in a trade. We would give up Mackenzie Yang. We would get a shortstop back in return. He's 79 overall. And we would have to give up Mackenzie Yang, who is one of our top prospects. We have a bunch of starting pitchers. You got to remember that. We have a ton of starting pitchers now. I'm going to go ahead and decline that. All right, so more signings. Hopefully these guys, yeah, 91%, and finally he signs. Wow, he was 50% and he signed. Okay, well, we got 54% here. He does not. That's fine. I kind of want to see what he is anyways. We get 15% scouting towards him. We're going to go ahead and advance some days. A couple of nice back-to-back wins there against Texas. Unfortunately, it doesn't end off too well for us. He's 63%. He signs. And he signs as well. So everyone is done. We have already signed everybody. Let's go ahead and get closer a little bit to the deadline. We'll go ahead and now the Mets are interested in a trade. We would get Richard Madison, who was a B potential, and Cesar Cruz is a B potential as well, for Ivan. He's an 81 overall now. I kind of want to keep Ivan. But we will go ahead and make the trade here. We will give up 2 relievers of Toussaint and TJ Antone, see what we can get. I'll be back once we find out the trade that we get. Honestly, this one's going to be the best option here. We get 72 overall, Martin Burgos. 75 hits per 9, not bad for a reliever, and he's only 23. He's honestly going to be with us in the major league, so we'll go ahead and accept that deal. 2 relievers for 1. It's not bad. We need to add him to the 40-man and bring him up immediately. And then we'll also bring up McDonald as well. We'll add him to the 40-man and bring him up into the MLB. We could have added Smoke, but Smoke is 27. We might want to think about getting rid of some guys that are mid-20s and try to get some younger guys eventually down the road. We'll go ahead and I don't we really need to call anyone up here. We'll call up this guy. It's fine. Everything is fine. I know Nolan Jones was on there, but we can't really, we can trade for people, but this is the last day to sign, and now we can check the draft here. So we're looking for being good. He's an 86 for Chris Blake, not the best, but he's a 70 overall, which isn't bad. But bringing the second-ranked player in the draft, only being an 81, that's kind of weird for his for that. But Jeff Ash, 91 potential, so we did get an A potential at left field. Not a great draft. These guys might turn into relievers for us, to be honest. Steiner, Castro, and then Jason will probably turn into relievers. Yeah, not a great draft, honestly, for us wise. Let's see if anyone had anyone better. A couple 86s. Honestly, right now, no. It's a closer. That's another closer. That's 98. I really don't care about that. Tom Chang and left, we did miss out on. 95 potential. 89 and 90, a 90 and an 86. I mean, this was not a great draft, to be honest. Todd Bowman also did not sign. Who was that catcher we're looking at? There was a catcher that we were trying to take a look at, too. He was drafted in the first round. It wasn't Purcell. Was it Culver? I don't think it was Culver. It wasn't you. I forgot who drafted him. I'll have to take a look back in the recording later on to see who we're talking about and actually update after that. I'll probably pass him. I might have been Purcell, but I can't remember. Or I think, to be honest, it might have been Culver. It probably was Culver. I think the Padres had 2 first-round picks. I can't remember, but I think it might have been Culver that we're looking at. But he was 91 potential, which does kind of suck that we missed out on him. So hopefully we can get back in the win column here. Maybe try for a spot in the wild card, even though we're 20 games back. That's a long shot now. Hopefully try to go around 500. That's the goal. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, so we did not lose 100 games. So again, progress. So we just didn't have the terrible month of May or April. Like we won 6 games in April. Like if we didn't have the bad month of April and May with only winning 12 games to start April and May, I mean, we destroyed in June, at least a little bit. We swept, we won 7 straight games, then won a couple more series. But then July we had a decent run, at least before the All-Star break, and a little bit after it. August we kind of started to pull away here, sweeping the Mets, winning 3 out of our last 4 here, and then winning, 4, 6, 8 the next 10. Couple wins in September, especially against Boston, that 3-game sweep. It was just kind of a rough season for us. The Royals were second in the thing, but league leaders, Omar Gonzalez led the league in shutouts, and Acuna led the league in doubles. So pretty nice season again from both of them. Again, we'll kind of take a look at. Hey, we actually did not get a Texan or a Ranger. I'm sorry, not Texan. I'm thinking NFL wise, for a Cy Young Award winner. Dylan Cruz, the Blue Jay now. I mean, we are so far into the season or into the future that a lot of people are in way different things than where I thought they would be. So let's take a look at the pitching rotation. Pedro stayed at a 91. He only went up in a couple places. 9.14, 3.71 ERA is not actually bad. He actually had a decent season. Dotson, 3.70 ERA, is up to an 87 in his second full season. 11.14 with a 3.7, not bad. Omar Gonzalez, 11-13 with a 3.5 ERA, not bad. Villegas, 7-14 with a 4.6, not too bad in his third full season. And then Fletcher Dune, 6-13 with a 4.5, not the greatest from Dune wise. McDonald, he came up in 34 games, 3.01. It's not too bad. Ivan, 2.63. He's actually been very solid pickup for us. He had one bad season in his second season in 2027. After that, he's been below 4, and even below 3 after his 2028 season. His last 2 seasons were really solid. So he's been a great pickup. Matt Cronin, who we got in a trade, who's been decent. Jose Soriano, who we picked up, and he was not good at all. That's unfortunate. Luis is no longer the starter. He came up and didn't pitch though. Kyle Nelson for ERA. Look at the lineups. Juan Lopez up to an 84. He actually had a big jump this season. His third full season, 252. A lot better season from him this year. 252, 315 on base, had a 700 slugging, and had a 2.4 WAR. So Cole Peck also went up to a 71. It also increases potential. He actually had a very solid rookie season with a 2.62 average, 321 on base, 8 home runs, 46 RBIs, and had a WAR of 1.9. Guerrero went up to an 83, his 5th full season, 236 average. He's not really hitting for average though. Montero went down 12 in his power versus left. We might think about trading him at the end of the deadline. 250 average, 308 on base, only 12 home runs. He dropped hella hard on home runs. Acuna was actually our best hitter, up to an 88 overall. His 3rd full season with the squad. He batted 292, his best season. Overall, his best season for us. Canario's up to a 74, but went down against lefties. Duarte's up to a 79. He had a decent season, at least. His 3rd full season, batted 239. Brennan Davis, in his 5th full season with us, 6 foot overall in the organization, batted 250, his best of the season, or best of his career. And Zamora went down to a 63, so we need to start thinking about getting rid of him. But Barry Luther also went up to a 69 after his Rule 5 draft selection. Let's take a look around, see where everyone's at. Vinny Smokes back up to an 81. So we might want to think about, maybe where this guy's going to fit with us. Mackenzie Yang, same thing, is up to a 79. He has 95 stamina, so he's got really good stamina. Met's up to a 78. We're starting to realize, hey, we got to figure out what to do with half of these guys, especially starters-wise. Rosario's up to a 76. These guys we're not going to worry about at all. Not going to worry about too much of these guys. But we need to focus on our A potential starters and kind of figure out, hey, what we're going to do, because we have a solid 4, like top 4 of Pedro, Dotson, Villegas, and Gonzalez. It's just who's going to battle out for that 5th starter. Is it going to be McDonald who wins it? Is it Smoke, the now 27-year-old? He's going to be 28 next year. Is it going to be Yang, who's also 25? Gonzalez is 21. He's an 84 overall. And his first full season, he would pitch a 3.52 ERA. Closers. Alexi Sanchez up to a 70 overall. So decent season from him at 18. So, yeah. Jeff Hayes is up to a 71. You might want to think about him, but, Cole Peck is probably the best option. He's an all-around player where, actually, Jeff Haynes is actually the all-around player. He's got better defense than Cole Peck. That's kind of weird that, Cole Peck's got the bat in the clutch compared to Jeff Haynes, but Jeff Haynes is a better fielder. And I think he is going to be... He is not eligible for the Rule 5 draft, but we'll go ahead and... apparently, can I not add him on to the 40-man? Apparently, it's in this season, but... Anywho, I'm just speaking now to speak at this point. Hunter Adams up to a 64 overall. Had a decent season with a bat increase. Rob Lara, again, decent season overall. A couple of these guys down here went up 60 and up to 54, so not too great wise for, we really need one of these guys to develop and to be that first baseman down the road. Second base, Hansen up to a 66. He had a really good contact versus lefties now, and then Ricky Nair up to a 59. Phil Woodson went up to a 75, and Andres Rosado up to a 52 at third. Bill Patter's up to a 77. He is probably going to be with us next season. He will probably play third for us. Marshall Thorne will probably be with us next year since he is 26. He is a 70 overall now. James Rose up to a 68, so he had a decent season, at least with developing wise, finally. Randall Clark is only a 65. Again, they actually had somewhat decent for bats wise. Sammy Hernandez up to a 63, and then Ryan Aguilar up to a 62. And lastly, in right, Ernesto Valdez went up to a 67, and Leo Gonzalez is up to a 62. So we need Leo Gonzalez to kind of take over for Guerrero. But Guerrero's only 22, and he's played 5 seasons, so we could see someone at least stay with us for quite a while. Let's go ahead and simulate to the offseason. This will probably be the end of the video, too. The Reds defeated the Rays in the postseason. The Rays swept the Royals in the ALCS, and then the Cincinnati Reds won 4 out of 5 to win the World Series. The Nationals with a 1, which is kind of weird. So you can see how far we are in the future in 2030. But yeah, that's going to do it for episode number 3. Again, if you guys do want a player in this franchise, write a comment down below. This will be the end of the bulk recording, at least for me wise. So once you guys see these videos, in the next video, I'll have a couple people added in if you guys want to. So yeah, leave a comment down below. If you guys want a player, I can add them in. Again, it's guys who we drafted, not, players that we drafted through free agency. Like Jose Soriano is a no. Luis de Avila is a no. Kyle Nelson is a no. People like Pedro, we can change the name, even though he's been here 5 years. Or if you just want people that we did sign last year, I'll, of course, add him in next season. So, or like guys that are, in the minor leagues, like Leo Gonzalez or James Rose, Randall Clark. Anyone really there, write a comment down below, and we'll get you added in. Also, if you guys are new, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as well. It really helps out the channel. It's free and lets you know when videos like this go live. So, yeah. Anywho, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.